I am a portfolio FD, but I thought I would talk about something else which is grown close to my heart, um, and it's about international contractors and leveraging the benefits that you can get from skilled workers at a lower cost. And I do know that it's a really interesting time at the moment for companies. So I believe this has real legs. Um, you'll have to excuse the obligatory pictures of happy, beautiful people, which I've used throughout. Um, so, as I've already said, it's about highlighting the benefits of international contractors, and the business uses international contractors based in the Philippines. Um, a little bit about the business, International Workers Network. It was founded by Jimmy Armitage in 2015, and some of you will know Jimmy. Um, I'm sure quite a few of you. Um, the Philippines-based workforce has good language skills, and they're used to working for American corporations over there. Um, the contractors that we use are all home-based, and they're we they're doing this work because they want a better work-life balance. They want to avoid the Manila traffic, which apparently is hours and hours of journey time. And having experienced Nairobi in Kenya, I can totally sympathize with them. The average monthly basic salary for a bookkeeper in the Philippines is about £450, but a month. So that does rise with experience and quality. Um, the charge that we generally have through IWN is between about 1,150 to 1,350 plus that per month. And the contractors also receive medical aid while they're working with us. Let me just move this. So the types of jobs for remote contractors, and I'm sure most of you are fully aware of the situation and the type of roles they can do. But it's around customer support, help desks, customer service representatives, IT and software development is a big thing, um, and IT support, creative services, graphic designers, content writers, and digital marketeers, helping you with everything like Instagram and LinkedIn and those sort of things. Administrative support, virtual assistants, data entry, and bookkeeping. And then on the sales administration and telesales side, order processing, customer data management, and prospecting for clients. The cost benefits. So, due to the lower cost of living in the Philippines, salaries are significantly less. Um, the clients also benefit from reduced overheads. There's no need for additional office space, equipment, or utilities. And also the national insurance increases that have gone through and are going through in April have raised the cost of employing local staff. I've been working with a business in Grimsby, and their national insurance increase is going to cost them an additional £130,000 a year. So this is not something to be sneezed at, and many SMEs are going to face issues around staff increases and national insurance increases, as I'm sure you're probably aware. So, what are the cost savings? So at the moment, the annual minimum wage in the UK for a 21-year-old is now around £23,000. But if you're looking at a bookkeeper or somebody in a similar role, that's obviously more, 30,000. With the employer's NI increasing to 15% from April 25, the total cost of the business rises to 26,450, and that equates to nearly £13 an hour for an employee working 170 hours per month. So with a remote contractor, you can reduce that cost to £8 an hour, and that would be for a top quality contractor. That would save you nearly 40%. Now, if you're looking at another role, an experienced bookkeeper, for example, and I'm sorry to harp on about bookkeepers, but I know them best. It's £30,000, so the saving is more. So there are real opportunities to be had with these contractors. Equipment. So what costs are you going to incur on top of the contractor? Most of the contractors that we have will already have a laptop with MS Office, an internet connection, and a webcam. There may be some situations where a more powerful laptop may be required, or other software. But for software, they will log into your web-based system. So you have to have web-based systems. So I'm talking products like in the financial arena, Xero and those sort of products where they're all web-based. And they will utilize your security tools, e.g. VPN and antivirus software. So what are the challenges? So this is not without challenges, and I've probably heard more stories on the difficulties faced by SMEs, particularly small businesses, in integrating remote international contractors into their business. And what I did was I did some research on what are the typical problems. So quality control. Maintaining a consistent quality of work from remote contractors has been challenging for some SMEs, and regular monitoring and feedback is really important. There's obviously a time zone difference, so coordinating work schedules across different time zones is not easy. Data security, that's always an issue. You need to ensure the security of the sensitive financial data that's being handled by remote bookkeepers or staff. Integration. Integrating remote contractors can be difficult with different cultures, different ways of saying things. Although these guys speak good English and they're used to conversing in English, there is still that challenge that can be faced with some forms of British banter that may not be totally understood by somebody in the Philippines. And the cultural sensitivity, again, getting that effective collaboration between local and remote teams has been a challenge. So those are the main difficulties that SMEs have had in bringing in remote contractors, and it's really important to acknowledge them before you start on on the process of bringing them in, and you have good community. You are prepared for being on top of your communications, regular meetings, etc. So what are the solutions to some of these challenges? Well, with IWN, the time zone differences are not an issue because these guys will work according to your business hours. It's important to have clear communication protocols, regular check-ins, using tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom for real-time communication, scheduling regular video calls, and providing cultural sensitivity training to ensure that you have a good dialogue between the two teams, local and remote. Quality control, ensuring that your contractors are aware of the performance metrics and they can be evaluated, and implementing software such as Trello, Asana, or Jira to track progress and deadlines. Please don't ask me any questions on the software. I don't know Jira or Trello, but I'm aware of Asana. Data security, implementing robust cybersecurity measures is important, and ensuring compliance with data protection regulations. So, what is the offering? And I'm coming to the end of my presentation now. We offer flexible engagement, so there's only 30 days notice required to end the contract. Before interviewing a candidate, you can have pre-interview videos to have an idea of the person you're going to be talking to. Data protection, contractors sign agreements to protect your data and intellectual property. Excuse me. And a risk-free start, you only start paying after 3 weeks of work so that you can ensure the contractor's performance is up to scratch. I'm conscious I've whizzed through that very quickly, but I hope it's given you a flavour. And if you want to know more, please contact me after the meeting. Dave, that's it from me.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions from anybody?
I've got a question for you, Chris. I was just curious to know what sort of businesses and what sort of services are they seeking at the moment as clients?
Well, what's mostly been happening is on the sales side, sales administration and prospecting has been a big one recently, but also Jimmy's other business is recruitment, and a lot of recruiters are using them as well. So they're using a contractor to manage the process and initial screening. So it's a good point because there are skills that I've not mentioned here that these guys also have. But it's always worth asking. The question is, do you have somebody who can resolve this issue for us? Does that help, Jonathan?
Yes, that does. That helps me understand it a bit better.
Great.
Yeah, a couple of questions, Chris, if I can. So I'm actually I employ 2 Filipinos part-time, doing marketing and stuff for me. So I'm sort of quite familiar. Just keen to understand the actual model. Are you providing the platform for people to find people, or are you doing the recruitment on their behalf?
So, first of all, my involvement with the business and Jimmy started in Q4, but got off to a slow start on my side. So I've just started working with Jimmy, and I'm still getting the full picture of the business. But Ron, sorry, could you just say that question again?
Yeah, so it's just understanding what you're providing. So I got my people sort of direct through subscribing to onlinejobs.ph, which is a job board basically, and then all of the recruitment process I did myself. So all of the contact, putting the ads out. So I just paid to get access to a database of loads of people who responded. So is it that kind of model, or are you actually, as a business, as IWN, finding people for businesses and actually providing them as a contractor through your own sort of routes?
So what Jimmy has is a couple of people based in the Philippines who have a network there of staff. So that side, so if somebody comes to myself or Jimmy and says, look, we're looking for these people, we'll contact the team in the Philippines and say, have you got this skill set within your network of people looking for contractors? And so people are doing a mix. It's either part-time, number of hours per day, or full-time. But the network is essentially local into the Philippines. And then they supply and talk to the contractors, get the interview videos sent over, so ask them to do a couple of minutes talk, that sort of thing, and we'll send those over. So that screening initially is done there, and then Jimmy will look at who's been sent over and talk to them before to make sure, and then they'll be handed over to the client.